I'll try to keep this brief. The Nets had a stretch in the second quarter on Tuesday versus the Cavs where they scored 6 points in 6 minutes, and they never recovered. They lost the lead, never got it back, or even tied it. I've written a lot about how, as good as Mikal Bridges has been in his first month as a Net, he's not ready to drive productive offense as the guy. The Bridges no Dinwiddie minutes right now are producing an offensive rating below 101, which would be the worst in the NBA by like 5 miles. And I thought the stretch that they went through, the drought they went through in the second quarter against the Cavs, really exemplified some of the problems they're having generating offense when Dinwiddie goes to the bench. I'm not saying this is all on Mikal Bridges. A lot of it is because the other players are not making great reads when they get downhill, and they don't get downhill a lot. I wrote a whole article about that problem over on Nets Daily a couple days ago. So it's not all on Bridges. I really think it's roster construction. But if you want to know why the Nets can't score, especially when Dinwiddie goes to the bench, this is the video for you. I think they showed why in the stretch against the Cavs. We're going to go through every possession in this stretch, so bear with me. I like that first action, getting Mikal downhill off that blind pig action to the left. It just doesn't work out. Then, off of the inbounds, Royce O'Neal gets to the paint, and I feel like Claxton is the read here, or maybe Cam Johnson to the corner. But a recurring problem is they don't really capitalize on these advantages that they create. This, not a great situation. Seth Curry makes the most of it, drives, attracts help. Decent shot. That was a push in the back. Claxton's made a couple of those recently, but I'd say an average possession. Here, I like this flare screen for Mikal. Again, downhill going to the left. 2 points. So 2 points in 2 possessions, not bad. This is where things start to go downhill. Seth Curry off a double drag, because who else is going to be handling if not Bridges? And he has all this space, all this paint to dip his toes into. He settles for the pull-up 2, doesn't, really capitalize on that advantage. Next possession, Clax, Cam Johnson handoff, and he has a step on the defender, I'd say. Clax may be open for a lob. I mean, that's probably a super advanced read for Cam Johnson right now, but he does the least threatening thing, which is pick up his dribble right there and throw it to Royce O'Neal, and then now the spacing is all kind of whatever, and the Cavs can recover. Then a handoff for Royce, who picks up his dribble way too early. No one's forcing him to right there. There's weak side shooters. Clax is rolling, but he picks it up, gets stuck in the air, turnover. Royce, I thought, was the best Nets role player in recent weeks, making decisions off the dribble, but, if he's your best guy that's doing that, kind of a problem. Wasn't good last night. Again, Cam Johnson off a screen. He is not really ready to be a big ball handler, maybe attacking closeouts, but I get why it's natural that fans would want that leap from him. Not sure it's going to happen. Plays around with that screen there, gets to the middle of the floor, has a step on the defender, probably should attack Ricky Rubio, the low man, and force him to either close out to Seth or contest a layup, but picks his dribble up right there. No advantage created, not a ton of paint pressure. This is a nice shot from Mikal. Tough one. Next possession, though, kind of a heat check, I guess. No passes, tough turnaround. That's what he's trying to do as a scorer, but it's just not great offense. Neither is this, where he fumbles around with it at the top of the key, but they end up with a 4-on-3. This can't be the look that they get from that. Just to rewind it, they end up creating an advantage, and this is where Bridges has struggled offensively in Brooklyn. This has to be a kick to Seth Curry in the corner. I mean, you got the 4-on-3 with these 3 players out of the play. Here's the optimal read. This kind of drop-ish defender has stepped up. The low man has rotated to take away the roller. Boom. That's where you're looking. Ends up settling for that. Good contest from Mobley, and it's a brick. I mean, Mikal, wired as a scorer. Maybe he'll get there as a floor reader, as a passer, as a downhill driver with an offseason under his belt as the guy, but not super happening right now. Again, Cam Johnson off a screen, re-screen, not much doing. The ball never touches the paint. Kicks it to Seth over here. Spacing's kind of off. Nowhere to go. Just a bleh possession. Clipped this last night. That's why the video looks all weird and adjusted. But their next possession was Clax just kind of being awesome. Coast-to-coast take. I think a lot of their problems, well, that's a stretch. Some of their problems could be solved by letting Clax explore this mid-post area more as a scorer. I'm going to write about that, so I'm not going to expand on it too much here. But he's shown some signs that he's ready to step up offensively. But more than that, I don't think the Nets really have a choice right now. Next possession, the ball never gets close to the paint. Handoff. They think this is a flare, miscommunication, and it's a turnover. Last one, bear with me. Seth, because again, no Mikal handling, got to be Seth, sees the iced ball screen coverage, and again, he's not really a pure point guard. He wants to get to a shot. That's what his whole career has been spent doing. So he doesn't make this pass. He doesn't string out the double to wait for a more advantageous opportunity. Instead, gets it to Mikal, who's now isolating out of this alignment, floor alignment. Not great. And again, trying to get to that pull-up midi. Takes a tough one. Another bleh possession. Let's put Dinwiddie back in after this. They scored 19 points in the second half of the second quarter. Their offense with Dinwiddie is nothing crazy, but they really do need his paint pressure decision-making ability, which, again, if he's the best offensive player on the team, a little scary, but they need it right now. They're going through these major droughts when he hits the bench, and on Tuesday, it killed them against the Cavs, and I hope that video illustrated why. Mikal Bridges led bench units, and Mikal Bridges as a primary creator, they're not really ready right now to consistently generate buckets and good offense. No slight to Mikal, just want to make that clear. Done an amazing job in Brooklyn, but that's asking a whole lot of him to be the guy that drives an offense with like a 110, 115 offensive rating. So, hope you enjoyed.